Hi there. It's May 18th, another rainy day in Georgia. It's time for Proverbs 18. Let's jump over there and we'll get into it. Well, let's take this first one and we will compare it to the New American Standard. One who isolates himself or separates himself, it says over here, pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound wisdom. What do you think that means? Because, I'm retired and I don't get out much and basically isolate myself, And you should go to church and should be around church people. And that's important, okay? But, we can't be partying all the time. Okay? Breaks out quarrels against all sound wisdom. So, is it sound wisdom to not isolate yourself? Okay. I know to be agoraphobic is not good, but we will dwell on that for a bit, shall we? Number 2, a fool does not delight in understanding, but only wants to show off his opinions. Boy, that's the truth, isn't it? That is the truth. 3, when a wicked person comes, contempt also comes, and along with dishonor, derision. Derision. Ooh, boy, that's a tough one, isn't it? What does that say over here? It says taunting over here. And with dishonor comes taunting or derision. I haven't seen that word before. Let's do this. Contemptuous ridicule or mockery. Derision is the use of ridicule or scorn to show contempt or an object of such treatment. Ridicule, scorn, I guess. So I guess taunting would work there, huh? They wanted to go farther than just taunting. Interesting. Stay away from wicked people, okay? That'll solve that problem. The words of a person's mouth are deep waters, a flowing river, a fountain of wisdom. That's true. That's a really good one. Your words have a profound effect on everything. Okay, you should choose your words very carefully because you can't unsay them once you've said them. You can't say, "Oh, just kidding." That doesn't work. Words are already in there. So, 5, it is not good to show partiality to the guilty, denying an innocent person justice. You think that's going on now? It's just plain as day, huh? Plain as day. That we are getting closer and closer to the tribulation, just by the way everything's happening nowadays. 6, a fool's lips lead to strife, and his mouth provokes a beating. Yeah. A fool's mouth is his devastation, and his lips are a trap for his life. Two go together. 8, I always talk about this when it comes up. A gossip's words are like choice food that goes down to one's innermost being. The chambers of the belly. Gossip is addictive. People love to hear other people's business because it detracts from their own problems. And they've actually made it a joke now. Oh, what's so-and-so doing? Got to find out the latest gossip. God hates gossip. Of all kinds. That means reality TV. People that are doing stuff that's none of your business, it's none of your business. And And it's worst when it's done among friends, especially a church group, where somebody asks for prayer because they have a problem and talks to somebody in confidence, and that person goes and spreads it all over the church, or just tells one other person, and then the one other person that did not know it was confident spreads it all over the church. Guess what so-and-so did? Pretty soon, you have no friends, because it's addictive, and you need to get away from that. I can't stress that enough. 9, the one who is lazy in his work is brother to a vandal. Yeah. Brother to a vandal, or a thief, or master of destruction. 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are protected. That's a song, huh? There's a song written about that somewhere. 11, the wealth of the rich is his fortified city. In his imagination, it is like a high wall. Yeah. Rich people think they're protected. I have money, nobody can get to me. Well, if you don't have money, nobody's going to try and get to you. But if you do have money, everybody's going to try and get to you. So, in your imagination, rich people are not safe, only in their imagination. That's pretty good. Before his downfall, a person's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. Be humble, right? Above all else, be humble, and then somebody else will honor you. Pride goes before a fall. Just read that yesterday. 13, the one who gives an answer before he listens. This is foolishness and a disgrace for him. Boy, that's a good one. I haven't seen it put like that before. Many people, are saying something, and they're telling you something, and you break them off with an answer before you even finish listening to them. That happens all the time. That's where arguments start. James, it says, be quick to listen, slow to speak. That means listen to their whole thing before you formulate an answer, and don't cut them off. It's a foolishness and a disgrace. There you go. 14, a person's spirit can endure sickness, but who can survive a broken spirit? Right. It's hard. I have had a broken spirit, and it's very hard to get over that. I mean, it's one thing, to have a cold or be sick or a broken bone or something. But if your family leaves you, if you're going through a divorce that you had nothing to do with, if somebody dies in your family, that's not like a sickness that's going to go away, okay? That's a broken spirit, and it's very hard to recover from that. And the people that have recovered from that are the strongest, gentlest Christians you will find. 15, the mind of the discerning acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks it. That's just basic. The mind of the discerning acquires knowledge. Right? That's knowing what to listen to. Right? 16, a person's gift opens doors for him and brings him before the great. Right? Somebody that brings a gift usually gets moved towards the front of the line. People like receiving gifts. Even if it's just something small. What's this? Makes room. 17, the first to state his case seems right until another comes and cross-examines him. Right. That's why in court, the prosecution, the one who's accusing people of stuff, always goes first. Oh, yeah, he did this awful thing, and he robbed this, and he did this, and he did this, and we're going to prove it. And then the defense gets to speak last, because they can come up and say, my client has been accused of this and this and this, but I can prove, and we have proof that he was in another state at the time these things were happening, so he had nothing to do with it. All right? Suddenly, the person who stated their case doesn't seem right anymore until another comes and cross-examines him. All right? 18. Casting the lot ends quarrels and separates powerful opponents. Right. They used to cast lots for everything. Okay? Now they flip coins and do different stuff like that. And, two big million football teams are going, and they flip a coin, and a little coin lands, and these two powerful football teams will accept that as, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, it's true. 19. An offended brother is harder to reach than a fortified city, and quarrels are like the bars of a fortress. All right. If you offend somebody, if you spread gossip about them and offended them, they are harder to reach than a fortified city. Huh? It's just plain. You're not gonna be able to win them back easily. Okay? Doesn't say you can't reach them. It just says they're harder to reach than a fortified city. And if you've offended somebody, that's going to be, it's hard to get that back. It's right. I'll highlight this because we talked about it. Okay. 20. From the fruit of a person's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is filled with the product of his lips. Okay? That goes along with speaking up there. Knowing what to speak, when to speak. Okay? So, watch what comes out of your mouth. It's important. Okay? 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. See, there you go. It goes right along with it. And those who love it will eat its fruit. Words. 22. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Right. Right. If you're looking for a good wife, look in the right places. Okay? Like church. The poor person pleads, but the rich one answers roughly. Yeah. People get money and they automatically think they're better than everybody else. And they look down on everybody else. It's terrible. Not all of them, but a good number of them will look down at everybody else. Like they're some kind of peons or something. 24. One with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who stays closer than a brother. One with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who stays closer than a brother. All right? We have a lot of friends. You're hanging out with a gang of 15, 20, 30 people. Okay? I'm not going to be loyalty there. There's usually one person that will stick by you no matter what. Okay? Just for kicks, let's look that up in the New American Standard. A person of too many friends comes to ruin. But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Okay? It actually says, now the New American Standard is a direct word-for-word translation, and when they translated it, they translated the exact word for word and didn't care if it didn't make any sense or the prose or not. That's what it says. So I look to the New American Standard when I want to know exactly what it says. And the exact words are, there is a person of too many friends comes to ruin. Okay? If you have too many friends, you're not going to have a loyal friend. You need one person that will stick to you no matter what. Okay? Well, that's the kind of friend you want. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 18. Let's go over our highlights here. And we highlighted the one who isolates himself pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound wisdom. You isolate yourself? I must admit I'm guilty of isolating myself sometimes, It's just easier, but it also said, the very first one says, one who isolates himself pursues selfish desires and rebels against all sound wisdom. But then down in the very last verse, say, if you have too many friends, you will come to ruin or be harmed. But there is a friend that stays closer than a brother. Okay? So there's a balance somewhere in the center there. And we have our wife, okay? That's one who finds a wife finds a good thing. Okay? So I'm not isolated if we have our wives with us. They stick closer than a brother. And a few good friends. Okay? And we highlighted for the words of a person's mouth are deep waters, a flowing river, a fountain of wisdom. Okay? Words are very, very powerful. You can lift somebody up or you can easily tear them down. Okay? And it says a flowing river, once the water goes by, you can't get it back. Okay? You can't get that same water back because it's gone. Once you say a word, it's said, you can't unsay it. Okay? So you need to be very mindful of what you say before you say it. Because you can never take it back. All right? And 5. It is not good to show partiality to the guilty, denying an innocent person justice. Is that going on today? Yeah, just look around. Just look around. We won't get into that because that'll get you into all kinds of political discussions and stuff. And I don't want to go there on a Saturday. We highlighted 8. A gossip's words are like choice food that goes down to one's innermost being. Okay? Gossip is addictive like a drug. Okay? It's a drug you need to get away from. God hates gossip. Okay? Other places call it sowing discord among brethren. Okay? It's your friends, your circle, people in your church. So-and-so did such and such. And tell everybody. God hates that, okay? If someone comes to you with that, you need to say, stop. I don't want to hear that, okay? I love you, but what you're doing is wrong. It's gossip, and it's a sin, and God hates it. It needs to stop. Okay? And if they don't speak to you and say, why is that guy mad at you? I don't know. By asking, why are you so mad at him? Well, he didn't want to listen to such and such and so-and-so. And that person's going to go, oh, well, he's right. So, yes, gossip is an addictive thing. We highlighted 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are protected. Right. Raised high. You are raised high. Remember that. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. We highlighted 12. Before his downfall, a person's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. Right? And it says, in other places, it says pride goes before a fall. Okay? People that are prideful, proud of themselves, and walk around, I'm the best there is. Somebody's going to knock them off their pedestal, okay? It just always happens, because no matter how good you think you are, there is always somebody that's better. Always. Right? And a lot of times they're going to be in that same room. So, it's better to be humble. Right? Be humble. Keep your mouth shut. And let somebody else honor you. Because they will. If you're deserving of honor, you'll get it. But not by shooting up your own mouth. And nobody likes to hear that. Right? 13, we highlighted, the one who gives an answer before he listens, this is foolishness and disgrace for him. All right. Do you cut people off and give them an answer before you listen to what they're saying? Okay. You need to listen first. Wait for them to finish speaking and then formulate your answer after you've heard everything. That's what it means when it talks about in James where it says be quick to listen and slow to speak. Okay, that speaks volumes. Well, I've often said that texting, if we could talk the way we text, except face to face, because when you're texting, you can't cut somebody off. You can't stop them in the middle and start and cut them off. You can't. You have to wait until they're, it doesn't pop on the screen until their whole statement is there. Then you have to read the whole statement. Then you formulate an answer, and then you text a response. That's the way speaking should be. Okay, you should listen to the whole thing, then formulate your opinion, and then, if they want to, and then respond. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So, the one who gives an answer before he listens, this is foolishness and a disgrace for him. All right, there you go. We highlighted 14. A person's spirit can endure sickness, but who can survive a broken spirit? Okay. The spirit can endure sickness, but if the spirit is broken, it's hard to survive, and many people don't. Okay. A death in the family, a breakup, something horrible that crushes your spirit. It's very hard to recover from that. Not impossible, but very hard. 17, we highlighted that first to state his case seems right until another comes along and cross-examines him. Right. And we talked about that. The one who's blaming the person always gets to speak first, but then the person gets to defend himself. And a lot of times, it's not the way the first person is saying it. 19, an offended brother is harder to reach than a fortified city, and quarrels are like the bars of a fortress. Okay. Now this goes along with the gossip, okay? If you offend your brother, if they spread gossip, if somebody told you a secret because they needed to get it off their chest and you spread it around, you've offended him, and it's very unlikely that you will ever have that friend back, okay? Because, an offended brother is harder to reach than a fortified city. And you're not going to get through, okay? You've ruined it. So remember that before you go spreading gossip and stuff. Okay? And we highlighted 20 and 21. They both go together. From the fruit of a person's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is filled with the product of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. There you go. If you only say good things, okay? Can you imagine if everybody only said good things? Okay? The stomach is satisfied from the fruit of a person's mouth. If you say good things, then good will come to you. If you only say good things. Right? What did your grandma say? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And everybody's grandmother said that. Okay? Or your mom or your dad or your grandpa, But for me, it was a grandma that always said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And that's the fruit of your mouth. From the fruit of a person's mouth, the stomach is satisfied. And death and life are in the power of the tongue. So if you only say nice things, good will return to you. Okay? So there you have it. That's Proverbs 18 for May 18th. And we'll just keep doing this. I think we're back in Samuel today in our Through the Bible in a Year. Yep, back in Samuel. Reading about the exploits of King David and all the stuff he went through. You know, I'm not sure how long we'll be in David, but they got us going through David and then all of David's Psalms, because this through the Bible in a year is in chronological order and the events, which the stories and stuff actually happened. So a lot of the Psalms he wrote will be interjected in there because he wrote them about a particular battle or about the way he was feeling, about what somebody said to him, or about what something happened in his life, and they're kind of interspersing those in there, which is kind of interesting. So, but we'll get through that. Catch up on anything you may miss. Give us a like if you think about it. Helps. But until later, we'll see ya. Be good.